So guys, let's continue from yesterday class. We're gonna look at where we left, right? So I'll just do the npm. Let's start this project. Okay, npm run dev. The text is very small. Let me increase, right? Hope that is clear. Oh, is something running on the other side? Let me check. Yeah, because I was working on that, right? Let me close that, and it's okay. This port will be also fine, right? So we have done some work. Let's continue right up to the point where we left yesterday, okay? And then I'm gonna talk about few things. Let's see, implement shopping cart. We have done that, right? We created the, basically define the item, right? The cart items. Cart item means basically the, let's look at here, object, right? Each object inside the cart. You have shopping cart, right? Shopping cart have many things, you know, total counts, total price, whatever, right? But also in the same shopping cart, let's say I'm the buyer, right? I go online. There will be one shopping cart, okay? I have one shopping cart, right? Here, okay. So inside that shopping cart, I have many items. So that's the many item, right? This is the design for many items, okay? Each item will look like this. It's gonna have product ID, name, slot, quantity, image. Right? Each item can have many quantities. Gonna have image, price, right? So this is each item in a shopping cart. That's the description of each item, right? Then we have the, you know, this is just a function to format with the decimal, right? So that will be easy. So we just exporting here, right? Basically, we infer the shopping, this cart item, right? Cart item, we just infer to the object, okay? Type object, right? So we can now use this one wherever we have this item, right? So that's the one we have done. So in the database here, right? This is updated, okay? Look at here. I make this user ID optional because if someone is not logged in, right? I don't have to provide this, okay? I will just keep it optional so that if someone is not logged in, I still want to use this card to add the item, right? So here you can see optional, optional, right? So how I can do that? Let's fix that one. Go to the Prisma here, right? And user ID will be optional. If someone is not logged in, I don't need, okay? I can create card without user ID, right? I can do that. Okay. So that's finished. That is all we have to do, right? And in the user ID is coming from this relation, right? Relation with the user. And that user is somewhere on the top right here, okay? If someone is logged in, we're going to get that ID added to our cart, right? That is all we have to do. So let's, you know, push this one, right? Because we have made changes. So we'll say npx prisma db push, right? So this update will be pushed to the database. Done. Now let's start npm run dev, right? Next thing is, so we have done this part, okay? We have already updated, right? We have done this one yesterday because see here what we are doing, right? Basically we checking, okay? If there is a user, if someone is logged in, right? Logged in, if there is a user, then take care something like some of this stuff, right? Like let's say, for example, if there is a user, maybe someone is triggered with sign in, right? Or sign up, whatever, okay? So sign up, we are not, you know, after sign up, we are not logged in. But just imagine if there is sign up or sign in, right? These things will run, okay? So we're going to get the ID from the session cookie, right? We're going to get that ID. If there is no ID, just return not found. Then, we're gonna check in the cart, right? If there is a cart with session ID. Okay, so if we have this session ID, we're gonna check inside the cart, right? If there is a cart with this session ID, okay? If it is, then we will check if there is a user assigned or not assigned. If there is no user, then basically we're gonna, we're gonna find the, for example, let's think of here. User cart exists, right? If there is a user, we will check if the user is in the cart or not. We're gonna check, right? So we have to say where user ID inside the cart. Look at here, prisma.cart, right? User ID equal to user ID, right? So where is the user? Here. If someone is logged in, okay, this user has ID already, okay? So we're gonna get user, right? And try to find that from the shopping cart, right? So if there is a user, so now see, we have the shopping cart either with the session ID or with the user ID, right? Okay. So if there is a case like, let's say if there is a shopping cart with user ID, right? If there is shopping cart with if user ID exists, because remember now in our, if someone is not logged in, right, there is a new session ID created, new session ID, and you also have same person, right, also have like shopping cart from yesterday in the database, right? So this will do the swap of that session ID, okay? From the database session ID, like user cart exists, session ID will be assigned to the in the browser, right? Session ID, okay? So we just, whatever in the browser we stored in this variable or this key, and then this key gonna get the new session ID from the database, which is inside here, right? Okay. So now by doing this, right, that means our current session ID is matching to our database cart session ID, right? If this exists, if there is no user with cart, right? If let's say there is a this right, session cart, for example, let's think like this. If the user is not inside the shopping cart, like user ID, if there is no, right, then you're gonna just add it, like just add it, right? The data, you're gonna supply the data with the user that ID, right? So now shopping cart has user ID assigned, okay? And then return the token, right? So this will check always when, this will run always when someone is logged in, when there is a user, right? This is gonna happen. But if not logged in, you can still add now, right? Because we allow our database to accept the cart without user ID, okay? So these are optional now, right? That is all. And this will be the, just to refresh the session, right? You can add below that. Now authorization, right? So there is request and auth. This request will help like to basically, send the request, right? So let's look at that one, okay? Not send the request, but get request, right? Request dot next URL, find that one, like what is the URL in the browser, right? That we call the path name. So if someone is trying to access this path, don't allow without login, right? Return false. If there is no logged in, no auth, then don't allow to access this one, right? The path you're gonna get with the request dot next URL, okay? Session cart ID, basically you can get from the browser. If no session cart ID, then create new one, right? That's here we are creating session cart ID. So these things, this authorize will be always run on every route, okay? The only thing we're checking for this route, protected route, right? Not to log in if there is no authorized auth, right? No authorized means no logged in, then don't allow to access this path or this route, but other routes is okay, right? And this will generate the new session ID, all that if someone is getting to the website first time, right? If there is already ID, session ID, then no problem, okay? So if there is no session ID, generate it, okay? And then apply to the request header, right? header property. Okay, that's how you set it. Response cookies dot set, and give the name of the key session cart ID, and this will be the new session cart ID, right? Okay, and return response, else return true, right? If there is already session cart ID, you just return it, true. Okay, done. Utils, yeah, this will be the round function to round the value, right? Like to decimal point, to decimal point. Okay, here we have done this get my cart, right? So get my cart function will access whatever cart we have in our database here, right? This is our shopping cart for me. So you're going to access this with that function. Get my cart function will access that cart, right? So here also you checking the session ID from the session ID value from the, from the cookies. We'll check if someone is logged in or not, right? If there is logged in, if there is auth, right, you will get session user ID. Okay, if there is someone logged in, you have the user ID. So user ID equal to session from this session dot user dot ID, right? Remember, this session has user ID assigned. Okay, in our in the auth.ts, right? If you go to the auth.ts, look at here. Okay, because when you try to log in, right, you gonna get this, what is the session here? See the session.user.id equal to token.serve, right? So here is this session already have the user ID assigned. Okay, this will be added soon you logged in, right? So you have access through what? Everything you're gonna access through one single auth. This auth will give you information about the user anywhere. Okay, in all the server side, right? Of course. So we got a user ID if someone is logged in. If there is no session cart ID, return now. Now you're gonna try to get the cart, right? Find first with the user ID or session ID, right? Session cart ID. So anyone, either user ID or this one, get me the cart. Okay, so you have cart. If no cart, return now. If there is a cart, just return it, right? It's spread here. The only thing is this one, right? So this cart has items, everything. Okay, but still this item we are adding, right? Item equal to whatever in the cart dot items, which is array of cart item, right? So what is this cart item? Remember that index file where we have that type checking, basically info, right? Explained earlier. So you guys remember that. This one, okay? Cart item, right? This cart item is basically array of this cart schema, right? This is the, inside this item you have many object like this. So that is an array of that object, right? That is all. So that's why we have to retell it. This item is basically array of that cart item type, right? So inside here you have objects. Now once we have the cart now, right? Get my cart. Now let's display this. Okay, use this get my cart inside the header cart button, right? Let's go back to the header cart buttons file and use that one. Okay, so let's go back because I want to display whatever in my shopping cart now, right? In the in my website here, you want to display here in the cart here, you want to like display some number, right? I have like 5 items, 2 items in this cart, right? So how am I going to display that? I just want to add that number here. So that's what we're going to do next. So in the header section, where is the header, right? Let's go to the component shared. Okay, so all these are outside, right? What I'm going to do is we can have many files, right? User button, sign in. Okay, that is user button, right? So For now, I'll just add it here. Okay, I'm in the header. There will be like 2-3 different files, but I'll just add it. Maybe we're gonna group it in one of the folder, right? In the header folder. So let's go back here, and the file name is cart button, right? Let's call it cart button. And copy this. So get my cart, right? Import that. Import get my cart. Okay, from leave action cart.action, right? So this is just the cart type from this Prisma client, right? See, the Prisma will give you the type also. If you have the schema, right, it will give you the type. Okay, so we're gonna maybe need this one. So import that cart item. This is type for our individual item in the shopping cart, right? One item. Okay, this is the type for individual item. Okay, leave types, right? Button is next, Satcn button, badge from Satcn, and the link from next link, right? And shopping cart, that is just the icon, right? So that's fine. So here, okay, let's look at this, right? This is the union type. Union type means you are combining, you can remove something and you can add something, right? So what I'm saying is this shopping cart has items, this item inside, right? This is in the JSON value format. Okay, what I want to do is I want to convert this into the array of object, right? So what I will say, omit items from the cart and again add items back to the cart, right, with array of object. So this will tell array of object now, right? So we just omit this from here and add back items, right, with array of objects. So now our type will be matched to our work, to do our work, right? So this type will be updated types, which will be helpful for us. Okay, so that when you get shopping cart from the database, right, get shopping cart, I mean, you can see a lot of bracket, right, because of, we have as cart array or null, right? So this shopping cart, when we get from the database, see, we have the function to get shopping cart. Just call that function, await that, right? Because this is network call, await get my cart. That data will be of type cart array. Okay, so now even it's showing here, right, Prisma JSON value, but similar. But trust me, this is updated now, right, with this array of items, okay, or object, right? Or maybe there will be null, right? Either you get shopping cart or null, okay, stored in the cart, right? Fine. So now look at this button, right? This is a button with the link to the cart. When I click this button, it will take me to the cart page, right? So I have cart page here somewhere in the app. I don't have, right? So let's create one cart, okay? Let me see. There is a product, right? I mean, I can add inside this root also. Let's add it, no problem. So I'm going to create folder called cart, and here I'm going to have a page, right? Page.tsx, and let's call this shopping cart page, right? Shopping cart page. This is page, okay, not a component but page, right? Because we have page.tsx, okay? If we need later component, we're going to add, right? But for now, the point is, if you click this button /cart, so you're going to get here, right? And this page will run, okay? That's why we just added, so that we don't have error, right? You have icon, shopping cart icon from the Lucid React. Now, after the icon, you want to display, right, the count, okay? So if there is a cart, right, inside the cart, you have items.length. Now, items is what? Array. Look at here. Now you can see array of object, right? See, this item is array of this object. So if this is an array.length, if there are many items inside the array, like this, right? If this is the shopping cart, and inside you have object one, maybe with the pant, this is the pencil, this is maybe whatever, right? So pencil name, color, whatever, okay? these are the my shopping cart list. Okay, so I'll say this will give me the cart items, that is the array dot length is greater than 0. Then I'm gonna call the batch from the Satsian, and I will just map through that, right? This is the array dot reduce. So map means basic reduce, right? Also higher order function, same like map or maybe filter. So what reduce does is it help us to go from one item to another, right? And get one of the value and do the accumulation, like adding job, right? So there is a quantity in each item. There will be quantity. Maybe one item I want to buy 2, the other one I want to buy 3. So I'm gonna add all that item, right? So each product. So here, so this is what, this is the value A, right? See how reduce work is. It's gonna have initial value that is 0 for now. Okay, look at here. In the reduce is a callback function, same like map. You have to pass callback function, right? So we have arrow function here. The first item will be initial value. Second item is the object. This is object, this object, right? C is what? Object of our cart. Each object. Now I'll say initial value plus object dot quantity. See, the first object quantity will be added to 0. So let's say the first object has 3 quantity, right? C dot quantity, object dot quantity. Let's say it has 3. 3 will be added to A. It will store, now this 0 become 3, right? So A has 3. Now C will be second object. Again, now A has 3 plus it has 2. Again, second object has quantity 2. It will add 2 to the 3. So now A become 5. So that's how the reduce work, right? And you're gonna get the, now A will be total value, right? Basically, just look at here. Whatever is here now, it will return. Okay, you also returning, right? Total value, like you are returning whatever total value. So it will loop through the whole array, and then finally you're gonna get total sum of the quantity displayed inside this batch here, like maybe 10, 12, 13, right? That's what is gonna happen. So fine. So let's use this cart button now, right? So where are we gonna use this cart button? This is our in the header, right? Look at in the header, user button is here. Let's check, right? So we have here, look at this. This is the button, right? Right now with shopping cart only, no logic. Okay, so what I will do, I'm just going to delete this, right? Let's see, where is the user? Oh, here is the user, right? Like once you log in, you're gonna get, like, you know, the user button, right? We have that. So I'll just delete this one and import that cart button. So yeah, I think we don't need shopping cart and user icon, right? We don't need that. Let's delete. So import cart button, right? What was that name? Let me see. The user, not user button, cart button. Okay, that's the thing we are exporting. Cart button. Yeah, this is the default, right? So I cannot curly bracket. So just call it cart button, and then display here, right? Cart, C-A-R-T, cart button, like that. Done. So now, right, if there is something in the shopping cart, you're gonna see that. Okay, let's refresh this. So right now, okay, something went wrong, right? Our server is okay, 3000 now. It's running on the 3000. Let's click, and let's see, right, if this will do the job. I mean, okay, so we have 3 items in the shopping cart, because remember in the database earlier when I tested, right? So there is basically two items, but if you look at the quantity, right, the array item 1, object 0, right, has quantity 2. Okay, and then object 1, 0 index, 1 index has quantity 1, right? So that is 3 items added. Okay, so this working fine. So now we can display right here. We are getting our shopping cart and displaying here. Okay, if you click this, you want to now go to the shopping cart page which we just created, right? And here we're going to display the list of items from the cart. That would be the next phase, right? But we still have to go through like adding item to the cart. We have not done yet. Okay, if we go here, right? So we need to add item to the cart, and we have not done that. Okay, that is the next steps we need to do. So let's continue, right? Let's continue. So let's finish up to that point today. Okay, so this will be basically calculating the price, right? So in the leave action, cart action, I think let's copy this. I don't know if we added this study or not, I'm not sure. So in the leave action, cart action, right? Let's see, we don't have, right? So here maybe I will just add this function. Okay, what this function is doing, right? This function will calculate it. We're gonna send the item from our shopping cart, the items. Remember, our cart has many items. We're gonna send that, and this function will calculate the price for each items, shipping price, tax price, total price. It will give us all that, right? Also we have to fix function to like fix the value to the 2 decimal point. So we need to call that function also, right? So I don't know where is that function. Let's see if we added our study. Maybe not, right? So again, here also see the reduce function is doing the same thing. Okay, you have array of items. You loop through that and then add the quantity. I mean, basically add the item, right? Item price. Okay. So the round, let me see, right? If there is somewhere round to, okay, I think in the utils we have already that function, right? So in the utils, leave utils, right? You're gonna get that, this round to function. Okay, fine. So that's good, right? Let's continue to the cart action. So we have that, we have get my cart function working now. The next thing is add item to the cart, right? So add item to the cart. Okay, so I'll explain this also. So I'll just copy that. It's long, but it will be easy to understand, right? So let's go through here. So this is just the function, add item to the cart, right? For example, I'm gonna go back to my website and I'm gonna click here. Okay, add to cart, right? If there is in stock, I should be able to add this item to the cart. So when I click, I need to send, right? I need to send this item information, okay, to my function. So let's see what are the things we're gonna get, right? The data, that is cart item, right? The data will be like the item. When you click that item, you're gonna give it to this function, right? That is one thing. So this function will be called in this button. So we're gonna go there later, but for now let's complete this function, right? So the first step, we have asynchronous function, try catch block, okay, to catch any error. Session, let's find the session, right? If no session, return not found or throw error, right? Now we're gonna check if someone is logged in or not, right? So that is auth, you're gonna get from the auth, right? From that session, you can find the user ID. That is inside session user ID, right? These are like, if there is a session, if there is a user, then there will be ID also, right? That's what it's saying, okay? That's question mark means if there is session, then only check for user, then only check for ID, right? That will be string. Or maybe if you not find that, then you're gonna get undefined, right? Stored in user ID. Cart now. So we have to fetch the cart from our database also, right? So just call that function. we're gonna need this cart item schema, right? So let's import that here. Import cart item schema. Okay. Why we're gonna need? We're gonna just to validate our data, right? So here, so we're gonna call our cart item schema, and we're gonna parse it, right? Or we can call safe parse, like safe parse like that, or parse, whatever you can call it, does not matter, like that, and it will give you the data, right? Basically, it will return the items like this here. Okay, something like this, right? You're gonna get. So there is a name, product. I mean, this is. See, once you pass this data right here, that data is safely checked and stored in this variable. Okay, that is all, right? Then once we have this item, right? This item has also product ID. With that product ID, can we find the product? Yes, we can, right? So go to the Prisma product, find unique, where, right? This ID equal to item product ID. So this is complaining now, right? Okay, so safe parse, we have not, I think, done parsing for product ID, right? So that will be give error. So let's keep it up to the parse for now, right? So that we don't have error. Okay, this will still parse, but we have here, I don't know why it's complaining. Anyway, just leave it. Okay, so we're gonna get that product ID from this item, and we're gonna find the product from our database, because we have the product table right in the database, and in that table we can get the items with this ID, product ID, okay, which is inside here, right? So once we have product, let's call it, if no product, throw the error. No cart, just throw the error, right? Let's say if no, okay, the main thing start here, right? Sometimes you don't have shopping cart, okay? Like if no cart, then what you gonna do, right? Because you just click the button to add the item in the shopping cart. But let's say you don't have shopping cart with your ID assigned to in the database. You don't have. So in that situation, if there is no cart, first we will check if the product stock is less than 1. Means if there is no stock in the product, this product, right? Because whichever button we click, we have found the product already. So we're gonna go use that product now to add to the shopping cart. If stock is less than 1, then throw error, okay? Then let's say this product has stock, right? Then second, we're gonna find the prices, right? Prices means calc price and send the item, okay? So where this item coming from? This item we're gonna get, from our here, this data. Remember that this data here, you just parse it and store it in the item, right? This data is coming from the button click, okay? So that item, we just send it to the calculate price, and that calculate price function will do the job and returns item price, shipping price, tax price, and total price. You're gonna get return all this, right? That's what you're gonna get. So let's go back here. We are in the item price, right? So we have price now, okay? We have price. Now cart data. Now let's prepare the cart data, right? So we're gonna have session ID, because once you open the browser, right, you're gonna have session ID created already. So no problem. We have session ID. Let's get that session ID. You have items now, right? These items will be what? The item you just received here, the data, right? This item. So that will be the array, right? Inside the array, you adding the object. That is all, okay? This items is the array of object. So you just enter one item, right? And then prices, you just spread the prices here, right? So prices has total price, all the prices. This price is done. So this is ready. The data is ready now, right? We're gonna check if there is a user ID, then add that. If there is user ID, then only add in the cart data here. Because remember, our data, right, like this cart also have user ID inside, but we have make optional. Remember that we have make optional. So that's why even here we don't have to add, right? It will not complain because that is optional. But if there is data user ID, we can add it. Okay, no problem, right? Await prisma.cart. Now create, right? Create the cart. Okay, let's add the new cart, right, with this data. So now we're gonna get the cart in the shopping cart, and if you have cart in the shopping cart, it will, like it will automatically, you're gonna get the basically it will just like run the refresh the page, right? And you see the number there already in the header. After that, revalidate, right? Revalidate your path because you want to just refresh the page, right? So let's call this revalidate function here from the import revalidate, right? So from the next cache memory, right? So it's just revalidating the cache memory. Okay, that is all, right? Like refreshing the whole page, right? So that our header can read the information also. All the changes will be updated in the cache, right? That is all we're doing here. So the revalidate what path? Product slug, right? Because over there we're going to use this function. Okay. Then after that, return success, send the message also, right? Else, let's say here we are doing when there is no cart, right? If no cart, then we're doing this creating cart. But for example, you already have a shopping cart. You already have shopping cart. What are we going to do now? So that is else now, else. So we're going to have, if there is shopping cart, we just receive the product, right? Whatever item we are adding, we have the product. We will check the stock in that product. If there is stock less than 1, then don't need to add, right? And then cart item, because if you have shopping cart, you just update the item. Okay, the cart.item.push the item you just added, right? Okay. Yeah, so this will return, if there is no stock, it will return the throw error. But if there is stock, you're just gonna add that item to your, just push that item in the item, right? In the shopping cart, you have items array. Remember that? So you're gonna push one of the object inside that items, right? And done. That is one thing. Okay. Now the thing is prices. Let's calculate the prices, right? So we have to update the prices and all that. So let's do that one here. Calc price. You're gonna call your shopping cart items again here. You will get the price. Then we're gonna update our shopping cart with Prisma cart update, where ID equal to cart ID. So we have the cart here, right? Already, because on the top you have cart, so you're gonna get ID from there. And then pass the data. So you have items, cart items, and the prices. Let's update that prices for the shopping cart, right? So that should be done. Now you just revalidate again the path and return the success message, right? That is in the all in the try catch block, right? Try. If there is error in the catch block, if there is error, then success false and message will be format error, right? So we can import that. We have the function already. Let's import that to display the error, right? So import format. I don't know if we add it or not. Maybe not, right? Format, yeah, it's not there. So let's find that and add it. But even if you can just send it some message, that will be fine, right? Here you can send it message, some text, but we have that function. So let's look for that. Okay. Finally, right? What is so I think the complete code will be here, and that is the whole complete, right? So there is error, no, right? So we just work through the add to cart item, else here, right? We have price, we done that, we have done that, we have done up here. Of course, we have remove item also from the cart, right? We're going to work on that. That is remaining. And then when you remove, still you're going to validate, right? Like components, share, product, add to cart, go there and then update now, right? So see, we just added the backend like server side code, right? The function to run to add to the cart or maybe remove the item from the cart, right? So we still need to work on the remove item from the cart. But before that, let's create the front end part, right? Front end, okay? Let's create that. So we're going to add to cart. We're going to add one, I think we already have, right? In the product, let's check. So no, we don't have, right? So we're going to add it here. So let's create add to cart component. Add to cart.tsx and copy this, right? So this will be, like basically UI side, mostly UI, right? So we need to install this one, okay? We add to cart function we don't have remove from cart, right? So let's wait for that. Let's remove this one for now. I mean, import, right? Add item to cart. So we need to install this toaster also to display the message, right? So let's go to the satcn. And what is that? Toast, right? I think use toast and toast, something like that. Toast is basically, used for displaying message, okay? So okay, so that should be gone. The error is gone, right? Add to cart is there. Before we move on, right? Let's quickly add that remove from the cart also. Okay, let's do that one, and then we finally work on that part. So this is the function, right? So we're adding all this back in like server side codes in this same place, right? So that is our action. Where is the action? Cart action, right? Okay. So just below this, we're gonna add this function. And format error, I don't know where is that function, right? Let's quickly check. Control F. In the utils, right? And we have not added maybe. Okay, let's check in our utils now. Leave utils. Yeah, so we don't have here, right? That's fine. Let's leave it. What I'm gonna do is for now, I'll just add some message, right? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. In the action, so here, just put it maybe something went wrong, right? Like that. Just some message, okay? And that you don't have to worry about that function for now. And same thing here. Something went wrong. Okay, so that error is gone. The next thing is we have worked through the add to cart. Okay, when there is new shopping cart or maybe already shopping cart in the database, right? In the else part we added. But how you going to remove, right? Remove item from the cart. Okay, so when you, like, remember, you're gonna have the shopping cart and there you're gonna have like plus and minus button, right? So when you click on the minus button, the same product you're gonna send the, basically you're gonna send the ID, right? When you remove, you're gonna send the ID. So you're gonna receive that ID of that product. Still check the session cart ID. If no, just return it, the not found. Then we're gonna find that product with this ID coming from the click, right? Because remember, every time when you have a product, you click like remove, add, you're gonna pass ID, right? And you're gonna receive that in your function. So if no product, just throw error. That's good to go. Now let's look for the cart, right? Get the cart, no cart, throw error. Let's check, right? If that product is inside the, like, let's find that product, right? From the item here, okay? So if you have the cart, so the product we're gonna find, right? That same product from the shopping cart. So cart.items. Remember, cart has items of array. There is many items. Find. We're gonna call find function. It will take another callback function inside, right? So this will be each item, and we're gonna get the product ID from each item. Okay. Each item had ID inside, product ID also, right? And compare with this ID now, product ID. If that matches, that means you have that product stored in this variable, exist, right? If no product, return false, I mean not found, right? So if the exist quantity equal to 1, if the product has one quantity only, right? And you are trying to remove, that means you need to remove that complete product from the cart. So how you do that? Filter, okay? Filter the cart now, right? So cart items equal to cart items filter and not matching to that product ID, right? Means it will just get all the true one saved in this shopping cart and remove the which is not match. I hope it's clear now, right? So see, only one product ID will be, we said no match, right? So only one place gonna be matching, okay? Only one ID will be matched, and we said no match, okay? So all will be no match, right? So no match, that is false, okay? Let's say X, this item, that product ID, right, is 1, and this is 2, right? So 1 is not equal to 2, that is true. So all the true will be saved back. But let's say this one we are trying to remove, that is 2, and we get the second one also 2, right? The 2 is not matching to the 2, that is false. So every time in the reduce or filter, right, when you get false, that will be omit from that array, right? Out. That item is gone, okay? Filter out, right? That is the logic here. Else, if you have many items, if there is only one, you're going to remove it from the shopping cart. If there are many items, like quantity many, then you just minus it, okay? Just minus it, right? Like if there is 3, first time you're going to minus 1. If you click again, minus 2, like that, right? You just minus it. So that's how you remove the items from the shopping cart. Now you're going to update the price, same process, you have price and then call the update function in your cart and prices, you add the items and you're good to go, right? Then you revalidate your link to refresh the cache memory and then return success with some of the message here, right? Either you remove from this cart successfully, like if you have this function, let's look at here, right? I think if success is true and message equal to product.name and cart item find X, if there is any item, right, inside the shopping cart, then updated in. If there is no item found, then like this will run, right? Remove from this cart successfully. So let's see, yeah, so that's how it's gonna work, right? Okay, remove from cart successfully. Okay, that's the back tick. Where is the back tick? Is here, right? Okay, that's fine. As long as it's in the back tick, that will work. And then catch, maybe if there is some error, you can display the catch, right? So that is the remove function, also added in our action, right? In the server action. Okay, now time to look at the front end part, right? So let's call that remove also here. So now this is the add to cart. This function will be used later, right? It will be used later. Okay, when you click the add to cart button, now this is the UI part now, right? Front end part. Okay, you're gonna go to the website and you're gonna click here, right? When you click this is the function you're gonna run now, right? This is the function which will run. Okay, because this is a like UI, right? Basically, I mean, this is a function, but trust me, when you click, we're gonna make this function run. This function will gonna get what? Either it will get the cart, right, or the item, cart and item, right? The cart and item we will receive, but we're gonna make cart optional. Maybe you're gonna have cart, maybe not, right? But when you click, you're gonna have an item. Okay, you're gonna have that one item, right? So here we define the type now. This is optional, but we define the type. If the cart is the shopping cart, we have the schema, right? So we're gonna get that cart, no problem, from the schema. What we can do, right? In the cart, our items will be array of object, which is the cart item is types, right? And either will be this or maybe null, right? So either you're gonna have this array of items or maybe null, or this cart will be totally null, right? Insert cart can be null or have a nullable items, right? Something like that. Okay, so we just have to tell it items is something like a array of object. Maybe it's gonna have, maybe not, right? But this is optional. Then we have item. Okay, so in the item also, right, same thing, omit cart item, right? Just omit cart item from the item for now. Okay, and then we're gonna maybe, yeah, I think, yeah, that just leave it like that, right? So this is just to make sure our cart item is something like this, right? But item, for their cart item, yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry, the cart ID, right? Sorry, just omit, because we're not gonna need, this is the only thing we're gonna remove from there. Okay, cart ID, which we don't need, right? There is a cart ID, you don't see ID anymore here. Okay, just think like you have a cart item, right? Okay, and without cart ID, we don't need that one. But anyway, after that, what we're gonna do now, right? This is the front end use client. We're gonna need use router to refresh the page. You're gonna need a toast, right, to add some or to display something, like when like something is added, something like that. You want to display the message, right? So we're gonna need toast from the SATCN. Now use transition, right? So the use transition is the React hook. Okay, so this hook will gonna help us to, like, that slow down the process, right? Make things asynchronous. If something is taking a lot of time, right, then you put in the use transition. Okay, so it will just relaxfully do the other work, right? Other work will be keep running, but the work inside here will be asynchronous. It gonna step by step, it will do the work, right? So that's what we call use transition. Okay, so it will returns array which is gonna have like is pending and start transition function, right? So when you want to start the work like uploading or something, right, getting data from the database, you start the transition. So in the beginning, maybe you have pending, or you start the transition, right? So that's why we use transition. That will help us. We also check now, right? See, if you have a cart, let's say you have shopping cart. If you have shopping cart, right? This is optional, but if you have shopping cart, find the items, right? Shopping, this cart gonna have items also, items inside, and from there find with the product ID, okay? X.product ID, which is matching to the item.product ID, right? So now you're gonna exist item. Basically, from this shopping cart, you find that item matching to that item product ID. That is all right. See, this item you're gonna get when you click the button, right? But you must check that item also in the shopping cart if you have shopping cart, okay? And if there will be, then you're gonna store in this exist item variable, right? So if there is item exist, then you're gonna run this div, right? Let's run that. So here what we are doing, this is just a button now, and then we have basically the first thing here, right? Start transition, remove. We're calling the remove item from the cart, right? That's the first thing, okay? And then there will be icon. Where is the icon now, right? So we just added on click. We call that see start transition asynchronous function, and you have remove item from the cart, right? There will be response, and then you also adding the message now, toast, okay? And you can define like toast has variant, you know, if there is a response success, then default, if not destructive. So toast has some color, right? You can assign to that, and also you assign the message. So that is done here. So just remember on click function, and in the curly bracket you added all that, right? In the arrow function, okay? So now in the display here, what you want to display, right? So in the curly bracket again, if is pending, let's say if transition has not started, right? Then you want to display the loader. Loader is what? Something you're going to see like circling, right? You're going to display loader, or you want to display the minus, right? So when you click the minus button, that means remove, right? So that's why this button has either loader or minus. You're going to see later, right? I mean, once you're done, okay? Same thing here, you know, you add the quantity now, exist item.quantity in the middle of the button. Then you have start next button for the plus, like increase the item. So the button unclick start transition in the callback function. You get the response by calling the add to cart function. You pass the item. You get the item from here, right? Where is the item? Exist item, okay? So let's see. You know, yeah, okay. When you click the button, right? Of course, you're gonna get item pass here, okay? So you'll see later, okay? When we call this add function, we're gonna pass that item, okay? So that item is coming from here. Just pass that item, right? Add to cart item, okay? And also when you remove, you pass that item. And same thing if you know, success, no success, just call this destructive toast message and then return, right? Again, you have toast message for the, you know, success, like add it to the cart, change the color and all that, right? Toast action. So these are part of the toast, okay? The satcn to display message when something happened, right? And finally, the button for is pending true, then you have the loader, else you have plus symbol, right? And then text add to cart. Done. Now we have to use this function. So that is the final part of this class, right? So let's look at that. Let's go back now. So now in the, where is this button, right? This button, where is that button? Okay. because this button we're going to click and I want to add one item to the cart. So where is this button now? This is the detail space, that is slug, right? So there we have to go, and then so let's go to the root product slug, and this is the page, right? And here, if there is product that is, this is the button, add to cart button, right? We're going to get rid of this, and we call our function now, right? Which we just created. Okay, import add to add item to cart, right? Not from there. Okay, let's see, add to cart. What we returning? The name of the function. Export default. Okay, that is default, that's why no bracket. Add to cart. So component share product add to cart, right? And we will just put inside here add to cart, right? Like that. Now remember, this function needs this props. We have to pass items and maybe types, sorry, cart, right? Items and cart if we have. Okay, so here just copy and I will put it there for now. So cart is optional. Okay, if there will be cart, right? If there will be cart, then you're gonna get it. Okay, why is cannot find cart, right? We don't have cart, but it should be optional. And then you pass product ID. We have the product ID already from here. Then product name, slug, round to function. We need to get the round to function also, right? And also you're gonna pass the quantity 1 for now. So when you click, you're gonna send one item, right? One quantity. Image, then you have the image also, right? From this product. So let's solve this problem. Okay, cart we don't have. So how are we gonna get cart, right? So let's call our function. Okay, import get my cart, right? And this is asynchronous. So somewhere here I'm just gonna call it. Let's call it here, right? Cons cart equal to await get my cart, like that, right? So what is saying? So we product await, right? That is fine. I don't know where I'm. Okay. So I'm in the wrong place, right? Let's see, generate. Okay, that is not there. Okay, not in the metadata. I mean, not above, right? Inside here, inside the product details. So somewhere here will be fine. Oh wait, right? Okay. So good. We got that. We got that, right? Also, now the round to function. Just import that. Import round to function, right? To solve that error also. So this is the shopping cart. Okay, what you see here, right? Already, what you see here. So let's refresh it. Okay, now let's add this item to the cart, right? Okay, did not work. Why not? Oh, maybe I'm not running the server, guys. npm run dev. So we almost done. Okay, Let's refresh. If everything goes smooth, it should work now, right? So when we call the add to cart, you're gonna click, right? I mean, this is the button, okay? Add to cart is what? That's the function. This function is displaying everything, okay? Like that buttons and everything, right? It has already attached like either increase quantity, decrease quantity, all that, right? If you have shopping cart already, it will send that shopping cart so that you have the quantity in the middle, right? Also, everything is there. Look at here. So this product already have two quantity in the shopping cart, right? So either I can remove it, you know, it also update my database, right? Remove it. Look at that. Okay. I can add now. So now this item is not in the shopping cart. So I can do the add, I can add, right? I can increase the quantity. You can see it's increasing. I can increase, right? Increasing. Okay. I can go back and maybe take this example. I can add now. See, I have one. I can now want something in the shopping cart. So that's why we get shopping cart and send it to the add function, right? So now we're gonna display this format. Okay, so you can increase quantity or decrease quantity, right? You can do that. If you keep decreasing, that means that item has one quantity. It finally filter out from the shopping cart, right? Okay, so this is working. Now tomorrow we're gonna click this, right? When you click this shopping cart, we're gonna go to the shopping cart details page now. Okay, shopping cart page, right now, if I click shopping cart page is there, this is the cart, right? So here we're going to display the image, small image with the details and increase and decrease quantity, all that, right? Because now we have to build this page and slowly, like finalize with the payments, integrate payments and all that, right? So hopefully this week we're going to finish the complete shopping cart with the payment. Then final will be like a dashboard, right? When you go to the home page, or maybe if someone is logged in. Okay, let's log in also, right? And see what happened. Okay, if I logged in now, 1 2 3 4 5 6. See, I mean, you can see my information here, right? But see, I'm logged in. Okay, and also my shopping cart updated now, right? So I should be able to go to that page, and then all my cart item will be here with total price to make a payment. Once I see that, I can click and proceed with the payment and select the payment options, and then add maybe shipping address, all that, right? We'll see how far we can go, right? So once this is the main like a what do you call that, like difficult things to understand, right? But it's okay. I mean, you just have to try a couple of times. Okay. All right, guys, I will stop here. Thank you very much. We're going to continue tomorrow. Let's see. Stop.